Being a new dad can be hard enough.
Yummy.
Add to that running a small farm.
That's away, little one. That's away.
Keeping a little market business afloat.
I think I've given away more than I've sold.
And feeding the masses in our new venture. You've got a recipe for exhaustion.
Oh, I needed that.
I used to be a big city food critic, but I gave up that life and moved to a small farm in country Tasmania. I've been learning how to produce my own food so I can know and trust what I eat. But just when I thought I had it all figured out, along comes Sadie, our boy Headley, and responsibility. So now I'm farming for 3. How hard can it be? We've had a fair bit of spring rain and it's turned my paddocks to mush. So there's not a lot of work I can do until things dry out a little.
Pig, pig. Pig, pig, pig.
But there are still plenty of hungry mouths to feed and husbandly duties to discharge. But I reckon I've done enough around the house and farm to earn a little break. So Nick and Ross are coming over to whisk me away for a 3-day kayak adventure.
There you go. Hey boys. Here we go. Good stuff.
All right, so we're going to start up here in the mountains. We'll put in at a place called Rivo Bridge, just there. Jump in the river, go downstream through these rapids. There's been a fair bit of rain the last few days, so they'll be fun. And then find somewhere to sleep, maybe one of these islands in the middle of the river tonight. And then the next day, do a bit of fishing, maybe an eel or 2, and then pull out somewhere near Franklin. So what do you reckon? Like the old days? That's just the 3 of us, bit of a boys' own adventure.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to going through the headwaters here.
Yeah.
And rapids.
Yeah.
Rapids.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
The only thing I'm wondering about is if we get out here and the car's up here, how are we going to actually get back to grab it?
Yeah, well, I don't have a plan for that.
I could hit up Sadie, see if she's free, and she could drop us off.
Yeah.
And then maybe pick us up
Yeah.
at the other end.
That'd be great.
So
Yeah.
much for being independent.
Sadie thinks we're mental to be relying on the river for food.
You okay?
Yeah.
So we've packed some instant noodles as a backup. Although Nick assures us they won't be needed, the rivers are full of fish. He'd better be right. Two hours into the mountains and it's finally just the 3 of us, and a river that looks quite a bit bigger than it did on the map.
It's a bit more exciting than I thought it was going to be.
Start off with.
Yeah.
Just looking at it makes me feel queasy. But Nick, a keen kayaker, reckons he knows what to do.
See this big rock on the left, the rounded one? You need to just stay on the right-hand side of that, and then as soon as you get past it, just dig in.
Just fang it?
Yep.
Well, that doesn't sound too tricky.
You'll be right.
But as Nick sails away scot-free, we're stuck in the starting gate, weighed down with all the gear.
Spinning the wrong way.
There we go. Whoa!
Hey! How come we had to start on something like that? Whoa. Whoa.
Our bulky load is causing havoc.
Push. This was a backwards trip.
Come on! Hey Matthew, I think it's your end that's stuck.
Is it?
Yeah, take some weight off your end.
Whose idea was to have such a heavy canoe? Going.
Bloody Nick's got little more than his fishing rod, with us carrying everything else. The scary thing is, one little spill could see us all spend the next 2 nights in soggy sleeping bags.
That's good. Hey! Well done.
One rapid and I'm exhausted.
But you're dry.
Not the most glamorous of beginnings. But once we're finally off the rocks, well, look at this.
This is unbelievable, isn't it, Ross? There's got to be platypus under here, I
for
reckon.
sure.
But the serenity doesn't last long, there are more rapids looming ahead. First, a gentle drop.
Lean back, Rossi.
There we go.
Followed by a not-so-gentle drop.
Right, Ross, we're going left.
Whoa! Well done!
We've survived, but we took in a boatload of Tassie's finest.
Took a bit of water. Lovely water. How'd you go on that?
Yeah, that was great fun. I'm a bit lighter than you are.
Thanks. We'll get on the scales when we get back and see.
A couple of clicks downstream, and the Picton joins the tannin-stained Huon River
Round. Drop there.
as it winds some 170 k's from its source at Lake Pedder eastward to the Tasman Sea.
We've just had this magnificent day. We're hoping to find a camping spot. On the map, it looks like there's an island or two down here, and get the fishing rods out.
Hey, so I reckon this is one of the islands we saw on the map.
It looks brilliant.
Does
Yeah.
look good, doesn't it?
All I can see from here are rocks, though.
Yeah, maybe around the other side there'll be a maybe a little bit of sand.
Here we are.
So what do you reckon? End of day one. Did you enjoy it?
Loved it.
That's the flattest I've
That's-
ever seen your hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Looks like we found ourselves a home for the night. It's an island in the middle of the Huon River. Several k's glorious paddling down, and we saw fish jumping just here as we pulled in, so maybe there's dinner to be had from the stream.
Once we're into some dry clothes, there's work to be done. Making camp, getting a fire going, and as usual, when there's work to be done, Nick's gone fishing. Mind you, we do need some food, so I'm not too far behind. But after an hour with nary a nibble, we're not having much luck.
How you guys going?
Yeah, nothing yet. 2-minute noodles again.
Looks like it's going to be a vegetarian soup.
It looks like noodles for dinner, but a wee dram of whiskey should lift our spirits.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Well done.
Here's to it.
Enough of this, Ross, and we won't even care about not catching any fish.
Or dinner.
Yeah,
What a spot.
We might only be eating noodles, but camping on a tiny island in the middle of the river and warmed by a campfire and whiskey, it's hard to be too disappointed.
feel good.
But I really hope we catch some fish tomorrow. We've gone hungry so far on our river adventure. So Nick's up early, overcompensating for his failures the night before. I'm pretty bleary, short of coffee and a decent feed, but I might as well have a go too. But there's still no fish in this water, so I'm giving up and wondering where Ross has got to. And it looks like he's come up trumps, reeling in an eel at the bottom of the island.
There we go.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, we'll get him on land. Fine with eels, you've got to gut them fresh, and just after you've killed them. Best way to keep it as fresh as possible.
Nick! Nick!
Hey, Nick.
We've got something for you to smoke. Good work, mate. Looks like we've got some breakfast after all. No fish for dinner, but breakfast. Is that it?
Yes.
Just toss them in there.
We toss the eel into a salt and sugar mix, which cures it and draws out the moisture.
Curing is a way almost of cooking the skin, so the flesh changes in texture. So if you think of raw fish versus, say, a raw salmon versus cold smoked salmon, the texture's changed. You want it to firm up slightly.
And then it's over to Nick and his makeshift smoker.
Proper smoker, or is it just a tin?
No, it's a tin with some holes in it. Never used it before. Theory is we put a little burner on underneath and put some sawdust in that.
Smoking is a really imprecise science. It's all about temperature versus smoke, how hot it is versus how much smoke it is. If you really want to get something very smoky, throw heaps more sawdust on, or you can even do it over just smoky wood. The flavour of the wood has an impact, but not as much impact as a lot of people like to think. You can throw wet sawdust or dry sawdust on it, depending on how much smoke you want. And it's just a matter of playing around.
Oh, smoky. All right, ready to go?
Yep.
We'll smoke the eel for about an hour, but crack open the smoker every now and then for a basting.
Check that out, Rusty.
So we're just using the salt, sugar, soy sauce marinade just to baste over the top. And if you had a brush, you'd probably use that, but Nick forgot the brush.
By the time it's done, we're ravenous.
Oh, looking pretty good.
Does look good, doesn't it?
I want that bit.
Go on then.
Wow. The eel's looking fantastic. It's lovely and smoky. So all we're going to do now is hook in.
I'll have that bit then.
Good on you.
I'll take the head.
The head bit.
That's fantastic.
That's really good.
It's much better than most things we cook.
Wow.
Wish we caught more. What were you doing, Ross?
Trying
Oh.
hard to catch one.
It's so soft.
We're expecting these to be muddy, but it's like a really clean flavoured whitefish. A little bit oily though, unlike most whitefish. When you bite into it, you get this salty tang off the skin. I'm eating the skin. And it's not overly sweet. It's pretty much that same flavour you get from really good smoked eel in a Japanese restaurant.
We'll do this again. This is good.
It's a delicious morsel, but hardly enough breakfast given the paddling ahead of us.
Don't make me laugh when I'm getting in the bloody boat.
But the lure of better fishing downriver drives us on. So we're back in the water, heading down the Huon. We're now paddling like the pros, and I'm sure glad it's Rossi keeping watch up front.
See that massive rock up ahead? See if you can miss it. Woo!
That was fun.
You guys are amazing. You're like Humphrey and Catherine on the African Queen going down those rapids.
Didn't they fight the whole way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then in the end they made love.
Hours of paddling later, the river widens out to reveal pastoral land on either side, and we're getting hungry. We've only had muesli bars to nibble since our tiny scrap of breakfast eel. But as we come under the Huonville Bridge, we resist the temptation to nip out for a burger. Instead, we race the sun to our last chance for a wild-caught meal.
It's getting near the end of the second day. Up in front I can see, I think it's Egg Island. It's right in the middle of the Huon River. We're only a few k's from where I live. And if we're going to catch anything today, probably we can fish from there. We might even camp on the island overnight. You hungry for fish, Ross?
I'm pretty hungry and pretty tired, I'll tell you.
So it's dark and we've got nothing to eat. Is that the sum of our situation?
If you want to look on the bright side, Nick, yes. But we've still got each other. Who would you trade places with right now?
Rex Hunt.
On day 3 of our canoe adventure, we pull out of Egg Island early. We still haven't caught any fish since Ross bagged an eel more than 24 hours ago, and we're pretty hungry. Desperate times call for desperate measures. We'll phone a fellow fisherman. Hopefully he's had better luck.
Hey Matthew, I'm just going to put my paddle down and give Masaki a bit of a call.
Don't tell him how many fish we caught.
Yeah, I want to. Moshi Moshi. Yeah, we've got Matthew and Nick. We're heading on down into Franklin now. No. Haven't got any fish. We were hoping that you had.
Hey!
How are ya?
3 years ago, Masaki and his Aussie wife Lucy swapped Osaka for the timber town of Jeeveston, where he now runs a thriving sushi bar.
Any luck?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, really?
No.
Same with us. We've
Oh.
been fishing for 3 days. How long have you been fishing for?
Oh, from the early morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Still
no
nothing?
luck.
I don't think there are fish here.
Yeah. I'm thinking to go Research Bay.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
How far is research?
takes about an hour
Yeah, right.
down to south.
Good fishing there?
Yeah,
Yeah?
Yeah.
What sort of things?
good for sea urchin, crayfish, abalone.
Oh, wow.
If you wanna come with me.
Yeah, love to.
Yeah?
This will be the fastest we've moved all day, you know. The promise of sea urchin, abalone and crayfish.
Sometimes, as even the experts will tell you, fish just don't want to bite. Sadie's left the van for us, so we dump the kayaks on top and head to the southernmost tip of Tassie in the hope of catching some seafood straight from the ocean.
Wow.
That's awesome,
This
isn't
is
it?
fantastic. So where are we going diving?
Just around there. Over.
Those rocks in the middle?
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Looks fantastic.
Who's going out?
I am.
Yeah, I'm going. What about you?
I'll stay on, I reckon. I'll just throw a line out here and have a bit of a beach fish, I reckon.
Really?
And I'll wait till you guys to bring in the bounty of the sea.
What on earth makes you think our luck's going to change now?
Well, it's got to, doesn't it? It's
Different
been pretty
horizon.
bad for the last
Can't
few
get
days.
While Ross tries his hand with the rod, the rest of us are up for an underwater adventure. But exhaustion has taken its toll, and I'm out of the water early.
Oh, gee. I think I'm a bit buggered after 2 days full-on paddling down the river. I thought I'd be strong enough to go out there with the boys, but I don't know, not enough protein in the diet or whatever it is, but I can't do any more. I'll leave it to them. Hopefully Nick and Masaki have got us some dinner.
Looks like our luck's finally changed. Nick and Masaki bag abalone after abalone. Masaki nabs one lonely sea urchin, but Nick gets the prize of the day for this fella, a southern rock lobster. And Masaki's going to show us how it's done.
You want to start with this Craig?
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, you want it there?
Okay, I'm gonna kill this crayfish first. Just the brain first.
The cray's killed instantly, but its nerves are still twitching as Masaki makes amazingly quick and tidy work of separating the meat from the shell.
Like this. And then
Wow.
What dish are you going to make for us?
sashimi.
Sashimi, so just raw sliced,
Yeah. But washed in sake.
washed in sake. When you say washed, it is actually going to be washed, just the sake passed through, or will you
With
soak it?
water, very icy water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a little bit of sake.
And what does that do?
Sake keeps crayfish's sweetness, doesn't go out.
Any special sake or?
Good sake is better.
Good sake.
Water.
water?
The cray only needs about 20 seconds in the ice bath to give it a firm, fresh texture. But before we try it, we're going to crack open this prickly character.
Okay, next one is sea urchin. Just like this, cut around the mouth.
Wow.
What's that inside?
Guts and poo.
Masaki has to clean all the gunk out first to get to the good stuff.
Check that out. So it's just that yellowy
Yes.
stuff that we eat?
Yeah, so that's the edible part.
Hardly anything.
So we can eat sea urchin with crayfish meat.
Yes.
It has full of flavor.
So it'll break down with the crayfish?
Yes, really good.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
This is just like where you train in Japan, isn't it, Masaki? This view and seafood like that.
It's a bit different.
What's up next is a bit different too, and it's something I've never even heard of.
Let's make abalone nigiri.
What's that?
Rice on top.
Like, it's a type of sushi.
Yeah.
Okay.
First, a few slices of abalone, a fistful of rice,
When I've done that, it's taken me about 20 minutes just to get the roll right.
Yeah.
and then the icing on the cake.
Oh, wow.
I can't believe this whole platter has been knocked up in just 20 minutes.
Okay, let's grate wasabi.
And then a top tip on how to grate fresh wasabi, which takes us all by surprise.
How you grate from there?
Yes, because this part has good flavor.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I always start at the other end.
Actually, that's wrong.
Yeah, right.
And as you go further, spicier flavor and spiciness. So actually, you
right.
have to start from here.
So it's hotter at the bottom, but it's got better flavour at the top.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Finally, after 3 days of bugger all fish, the moment we've all been waiting for.
What happens next, Masaki?
Yeah.
Go home.
First up is the crayfish and wasabi sashimi.
How's the wasabi?
Fantastic.
Woohoo! That's a buzz. Wow, you get the wasabi coming at you. You think it's going to shoot up the back of your nose and punch the top of your head off.
But it's flavour, it's not heat.
Right. And the sweetness of the cray and that salty tang. Wow, that was wonderful.
Now, let's try the abalone nigiri.
That's mine then.
There's just so much going on there. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Sweet ocean.
The tiniest bit of
Spice.
sea action, but so much flavour.
See, for me, it's tasting like there's 38 different ingredients. It's like there's everything going on at once. It's almost like there's ginger in there. It's almost like there's coriander or some other, herbs. It's just really complex and interesting. Yeah, it's really wonderful.
It's amazing how three things can have so much complexity to them in their flavour.
Yeah.
You just you get stuck for it. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
where's it coming from?
Well, it's three stunning things.
Yeah.
Fresh wasabi. How often do you find it? Fresh abalone. 30 minutes ago, it was crawling around like these other two. And glorious flavour from that sea urchin. This is the end of the third day. I've managed to sneak away from the farm. Look, we didn't catch any fish when we had our rods in the water for 2.5 days. But look at where we are now. A knockout meal, prepared by a master sashimi maker. This is a absolutely knockout meal. I'll have to pay for it, in terms of family and farm tomorrow, but for now, kanpai.
Cheers.
Kanpai. Oh. I think that's my bit. Pig.
My lucky pigs get a sweet treat,
And with any luck, sweet cherry-tasting pork.
and so do I, with a Serbian-style Chinese New Year celebration.
We're more than halfway through this incredible meal. Can't even think of how many courses we have. We're just finishing off the chili lobster.